The Toronto Zoo is closed to the public right now, but work is underway to eventually allow guests back in without them having to get out of their cars. The zoo confirms it's developed a plan to open as a drive-through experience, which would meet and exceed government requirements set out in the framework to reopen the province. The pre-booked driving route would cover 3.4 kilometers. Once the zoo receives approval to open, tickets will be available to purchase online. And still to come tonight, we're going to meet some people from the Toronto Zoo family. With more, I'm joined by Toronto Zoo CEO Dolph Jajong. Dolph, good morning. So glad you could be with us this morning. What a great idea. How did this come about?
You know what? We have an incredible team at the Toronto Zoo. And when the Premier announced on April 30th, we needed to start rethinking about opening and different ways that could look, they came up with this proposal and immediately got to work.
Immediately got to work. So for those people, and I know you have a lot of them, frequent visitors, what can you expect when you get there and it's a drive-through experience? Walk us through that or drive us through that experience.
So the current proposed plan has people literally driving in that front entrance that they've walked through for 45 plus years and then working their way to the left, past the Indian rhinos on our public walking paths that they're so familiar with. And then they actually take a different tour. They go through one of our service roads and onto our Zoomobile route where they loop around our Indonesian pavilion and then actually come up another service road into our African savanna where ideally, they'll have great looks of our zebras, our rhinos, go through the lion tunnel, glimpse of the hyena, and then proceeding down to kind of the right side of the zoo, past the Americas and into Eurasia.
How do you make sure there's not a traffic jam?
Well, you know what? One of the key things we want to do is make sure people are going through at the right pace. You know, we have a set speed limit at 16 kilometers an hour, and I think in some cases our team will be out there gently moving people along. They've been inside for a long time. They're looking to get a glimpse of the natural world of nature, and we want them to have that great experience. So we'll be really carefully monitoring the pace cars come in and making sure people have a great experience and keep moving through.
And what about learning more about the animals that you're looking at? Is there some sort of interactive way that you can find out about their habitat and what they like to eat, that kind of stuff that you can get by reading those placards that are in front of each animal?
Yeah, our mission, people often don't know, it's connecting people, animals, and conservation science to fight extinction. And to help achieve that for our scenic safari, we've added an audio guide. So that's over 20 minutes of narrative that talks about the different animals, talks about their natural history, their life history, and the conservation programs happening right at their Toronto Zoo to help those individual animals as well as their wild counterparts.
All right, well, what about the animals? How are they going to react? Are they going to be okay with the cars? And, you know, obviously there's going to be people that are very concerned about the animals breathing in pollution.
Yeah, and thank you for that. You know, animal welfare is at the front of our mind and always in our narrative. So that's why when we heard about the announcement about reopening and started considering this, we started very slowly. We had a few staff drive through, and many of these animals, they're used to seeing service vehicles and zoo staff and Zoomobiles traveling around. But with this new route, we had to test with smaller numbers and have slowly been building those numbers up to make sure there's no negative impact on the animals, to see how they're behaving. And our professional animal care staff, they've been watching very closely to make sure we're not seeing any negative impacts.
And when do you hope this to start?
Well, we're really looking forward to hearing the announcement this afternoon. We're hoping that we get a green light from the province and our partners there to get moving, and would love to be operating as soon as this weekend.
Dolph, thanks so much. Appreciate you being with us today.
Thanks.